Okay, now let's get into what people want to talk about, this Venom 3 stuff. Okay, so this one's kind of, I don't know if I want to say it's more of an update, but I guess more of a theory. Because, this is what I want to talk about. So I have this one scooper I follow. Really, Cinestel. Let me see if I, yeah. Cinestelth, I recommend them to you guys. They've been highly accurate on a lot of stuff, and they're also one of those scooper accounts that really doesn't post for clout. They'll just show up once every like couple of weeks and be like, hey, this is what I found out, da da da. All right, goodbye. And not like some, because if you're online and you see these scooper accounts, some of them are just tweeting stuff every day or being cryptic just for that engagement. And it's like, makes me lose a little trust in you because it feels like you're just doing it for the clicks. But anyways, he recently came back up, right? And he was giving us little updates on things. See, like the last time he was on was January 29th, and then he got back on like a couple weeks, almost a month later, dang. One update he gave us, I'll just say this is really small. He's talking about the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. He said, I Know What You Did Last Summer is chugging along nicely, but Urban Legends has sadly been canned. They were thinking about doing an Urban Legends reboot, which sucks. I kind of like that movie. If you haven't seen Urban Legends, a 90 classic, I really wanted them to do that. But I knew I Know What You Did Last Summer was still trucking along because if you guys don't know, in Madam Web, there was an I Know What You Did Last Summer Easter egg. So again, one of my guilty pleasure slasher movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer. If you still haven't seen it, go check it out. But this movie was playing on the TV in Madam Web. It was like towards the end of the movie where they're about to go to the hospital and like little baby Peter's about to be born. On the TV, I Know What You Did Last Summer is on. And I'm like, hey, Sony's making the reboot of the movie. And now they put the little Easter egg in Madam Web. Best Easter egg of Madam Web was I Know What You Did Last Summer on the freaking TV. And so that was like Sony's little way of like, hey, that's what we're working on. Right. All right, but back to what I was getting. Then he, out of nowhere, then after giving us an update on I Know What You Did Last Summer, he then said this that like caught my attention. He said, Venom 3 and Craven being good after a string of huge L's is really going to scramble the brains at Sony. LMAO. And again, that kind of surprised me when he said that, because I'm like, what do you mean Venom 3 and Craven are going to be good? Now remember, usually insiders like this are people who work in the industry. They're either really close, working on the set, they get their hands on the script, they're someone in disguise. They're in the know, and that's how they get this information. It just doesn't appear to them like some people. And so this person that I'm saying I trust, and I've seen them get a lot of stuff right, they're saying Venom 3 and Craven is looking to be good. And when those movies are released and people like them, Sony is going to scratch their heads and go, what happened? I thought people hated our universe. They like this movie now? Greenlit El Muerto and the Aunt May spinoff movie now. So I thought we could get into this mindset a little bit. Seeing what he says is true. Venom 3 and Craven are about to be actual good movies, and it's going to be so confusing to Sony, who just had a disaster of a weekend with Madam Web and those reviews and everything like that. Because it seemed like after Madam Web came out, because let's see Madam Web. What's it at right now on Rotten Tomatoes? Madam Web, Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's lower than Morbius, right? Yeah, and even the audience score, which is always very generous. Audiences love to be generous. Even that is rotten. So it seemed like Sony was ready to kill. Like Sony Kills. Let's see here if I saw articles. Yeah. Insiders, Madam Web collapse, forget about a new franchise. Yeah, this article said that it's sounding like after Madam Web, Sony is ready to give up on their universe. They're like, yeah, this isn't working out. We're only damaging the Spider-Man brand. We thought we could make this into our own little universe. And they were like, yeah, we're about to end this. We're not going to continue on. Venom's going to end. It started with Venom. It'd be poetic if after Venom 3, we just close this universe off. But what if this is true? What if Craven and Venom 3 come out and they're actually good? I still think that is a long shot. Like, I think even someone in the comments said, I don't believe you. Something like that. Like, no way. Yeah. well, like, no chance Venom 3 is good considering how bad the first two are. Craven looks absolutely terrible. No chance it's good. Like, I'm with those people. Like, although Craven looks semi-interesting, Craven the Hunter, because of the R rating, that's the only thing making me really go see that movie. It's just, I want to see what Sony does with an R-rated Spider-Man character. Like, it should have been Venom, let there be carnage, but whatever. Is that, could Craven the Hunter actually be good? Is there also like a psychological thing going on where we just witnessed two really bad Sony spin-offs, Morbius and Madam Web? And so we just have this super bad, low expectation that when we get a decent, an okay, or a watchable, fun movie like Craven and Venom 3, there's going to be some weird reverse psychology on us going, these are great. These are masterpieces. Sony, give me more. Dude, we got to be very careful here. I just thought that's so interesting. And we don't know that. That's so true. What if Venom 3 is also rated R? That is a great question. It's very likely. You never know. Maybe they want to go out in a bang. The whole reason that Craven is rated R now after making the other movies PG-13 was because Sony really thought that Kevin Feige was going to let their Sony universe be part of the MCU, and that's why they were going to have Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man fight each other. But we saw what happened. One post-credit scene, he's in the universe. Another post-credit scene, they took him out. Sony got the message. They're like, all right, we're never going to be part of the MCU. We're still going to tell our actors we're in the MCU so they could sign on with us. I'm so sorry, Dakota Johnson. But they were like, fine, if we're not going to be part of the MCU, we don't have to be family friendly. Make that thing rated R. Venom 3 being rated R could also give me that same effect because it's not just about, again, being rated R. I've been dying to see Venom be rated R. Like, we just had the Spider-Man video game, and that was a rated R Venom. He was biting people's heads, cracking bones. You know those finishing moves you get to do with Venom in Spider-Man 2, the PS5 game? Joe, if I get to see things like that in Venom 3, you know what? That might be the best one out of the entire universe. So, I don't know. I just thought this was interesting phrasing. This is obviously someone in the industry. They know something. Who knows? I mean, I doubt there's even been screenings of Venom 3, so you can't really know if the movie's going to be good, but maybe he knows the story and the script is good enough that there's something there. I don't know, man. I think maybe he knows if Craven's good because that movie was literally about to come out last year, and then they pulled the plug last minute, and we're like, yeah, we'll see you next year. Can't imagine if they're doing any changes to that movie, but just think about that, man. If Venom 3 and Craven turn out good, we might be stuck with this universe. We might be stuck with this universe. All right. Let me move on now to some other stuff. So, okay, we talked about that. All right. Let's go into talking about AI movies, man. A lot has been happening with AI the past couple